June stepped off the transport shuttle, his heart pounding in his chest. The gleaming spires of the Federation Flight Academy towered above him, impossibly tall against the purple alien sky. He was the first human ever admitted to this prestigious institution. "Name and species?" demanded the blue-skinned receptionist without looking up from her holographic display. "June Park. Human," he replied, trying to keep his voice steady. The receptionist's head snapped up, all four eyes widening. "The human? Report to Director Kim immediately." As June walked through the hallways, alien cadets stopped their conversations to stare. Some whispered behind their appendages, others made no attempt to hide their skepticism. A tall, insect-like cadet clicked its mandibles in what June assumed was laughter. "Look at those slow reflexes," the insectoid cadet said in perfect Federation standard. "Those primitive limbs can't possibly operate a Class 4 starship." Director Kim's office was minimalist and cold. The director herself was tall with silver skin that reflected the room's lights. "Cadet June," she said, not offering the customary greeting bow. "Your species' admission to the Federation was controversial. Your presence here even more so. Do you understand why?" June stood at attention. "Because humans are untested in space combat, Director." "Partially correct," she replied. "The real issue is that humans are unpredictable. Your flying methods during your preliminary tests defied conventional logic." She activated a hologram showing June's entrance exam flight path, a wild, seemingly random pattern that somehow worked. "This approach would fail 10,000 times out of 10,000 attempts for any logical species," Director Kim said. "Yet you succeeded." The door slid open, and a short, green-skinned instructor entered. "This is Instructor Han. He believes your admission was a mistake." Han circled June slowly. "Humans rely on something they call intuition, an unreliable, unquantifiable concept." "It served us well enough, sir," June replied. Han's facial tentacles twitched with annoyance. "You will be assigned quarters with Technical Specialist Min Nar. Classes begin at first light." Later that day, June found his quarters. His roommate, Min, was already there, a humanoid with golden skin and 6 fingers on each hand. "So you're the human," Min said with actual warmth. "I recalibrated your sleep pod for your biology." "Thanks," June replied, surprised by the kindness. "Not everyone here seems happy to see me," Min shrugged. "They fear what they don't understand. And no one understands how a species with such slow reflexes passed the entrance exams. Just lucky, I guess." "There is no luck in spaceflight," Min said seriously. "Only mathematical certainty, or failure." On his first day of classes, June quickly realized he was at a disadvantage. The flight simulators were calibrated for alien physiologies. The reaction times expected were nearly impossible for human neurology. "Failure again, human," Instructor Han announced as June's simulator displayed a crash. "Your species simply lacks the processing speed for interstellar navigation." The insectoid cadet, whose name June learned was Zarkonian, performed flawlessly on the same simulation. "Perhaps humans should stick to their primitive aircraft," he clicked mockingly. That night, June couldn't sleep. He slipped out to the simulator room, only to find it already occupied by Director Kim. "Cadet June," she said, unsurprised. "I expected you might seek additional practice. I need to improve, Director." She studied him curiously. "Do you know about the Federation flight simulator?" "Only rumors, that it's impossible to complete." "Not impossible," she corrected. "Simply never completed. Each cadet gets 1 attempt in their final year." She activated a program, and a simulation, unlike anything June had seen, appeared. A ship navigating through what looked like pure chaos. "This is a recording of the last attempt by the highest-scoring cadet in Academy history," she explained. "The ship in the simulation exploded spectacularly." "Why show me this?" June asked. "Because tomorrow you will attempt it." "But I'm not ready. First-year cadets never," Federation High Command insisted. "They want to know if humans truly possess something special." The next morning, the entire Academy gathered as June was led to the legendary simulator. Min caught his eye and nodded encouragingly. "Remember," Min whispered, "they expect you to think like them. Don't." As the simulator door closed behind him, June felt the weight of an entire species' reputation on his shoulders. He had no idea why he was being tested so soon, but one thing was clear: he couldn't afford to fail. June woke before dawn, his body aching from yesterday's simulator test. Director Kim had stopped the test halfway through, saying only that adjustments were needed. No one would tell him if he had passed or failed. The dormitory was quiet as June dressed in his cadet uniform. Min was already gone, probably working an early shift in the technical bay. "Human," a voice crackled over the intercom. "Report to Training Deck 7. When June arrived, Instructor Han was waiting with 3 other cadets, including Zarkonian, the insectoid who seemed to hate humans on principle. "Today we begin formation flying," Han announced. "Zarkonian will lead, followed by Telix, Vorn, and the human." June noticed he was the only one instructor Han didn't call by name. Inside the simulator pods, the cadets linked to a shared, virtual environment. 4 training ships appeared in space above an orange gas giant. "Follow Standard Federation Pattern Delta 6, Han ordered from the control room. The alien ships moved in perfect unison, executing precise turns and accelerations. June struggled to keep up. His reactions were just a fraction of a second slower, but in formation flying that fraction meant everything. "Human, you're disrupting the pattern," Zarkonian clicked angrily through the comm system. June pushed his ship harder, trying to anticipate the next move instead of reacting to it. For a brief moment, he found the rhythm, his ship falling into perfect formation. Then Zarkonian suddenly changed direction, not part of the standard pattern. June's ship collided with Telix's, sending both into a spin. Simulation terminated. Han's voice was cold. "Human, report to my office." In Han's office, the instructor replayed the simulation on a holographic display. "Explain yourself," Han demanded. "Zarkonian changed the pattern," June said. "I reviewed the telemetry. He executed a standard Vesperian variation. It wasn't in the briefing." Han's face tentacles twitched. "A competent pilot adapts. Perhaps humans lack this ability?" After being dismissed, June found Min in the mess hall. "How bad was it?" Min asked. "Han thinks I'm worthless," June sighed. "Maybe humans don't belong here." Min's golden skin shimmered as he leaned forward. "Han criticized me too when I first arrived, but I found something interesting in the simulator. Logs from yesterday." "What?" "Your approach to the chaos section. You didn't follow any pattern, but your survival time was the second longest in Academy history." June blinked in surprise. "Second? Who's first?" "No one knows. The record is from 50 years ago, before digital logs." That night, June couldn't sleep again. He slipped out to the simulator room, determined to practice. To his surprise, the door was unlocked. Inside, he found Instructor Park, a female with silvery blue skin who taught advanced navigation. "Cadet June," she said quietly. "I thought you might come." "I need to practice, Instructor." She nodded. "I reviewed your chaos simulator run. Your approach was unorthodox." "I failed," June said simply. "Did you?" Park activated the simulator. "Watch." The hologram showed June's ship entering a field of quantum distortions. Where other pilots would execute standard evasive patterns, June's ship moved unpredictably, almost dancing between the lethal energy bursts. "No Federation pilot flies like this," Park said. "We're trained to follow patterns because patterns are predictable and safe." "So I did it wrong?" "You did it differently," Park corrected. "And in the chaos section, different kept you alive. Longer than standard approaches." Over the next week, June began secret training sessions with Instructor Park. She showed him the standard patterns but didn't force him to follow them. "Feel the ship," she advised. "Don't just think about where it is, feel where it could be." During regular classes, June still struggled. Zarkonian and his friends made sure of it, subtly altering formations or claiming simulator pods had malfunctioned after June used them. One evening, Min brought June a data crystal. I sliced into the Academy records, he whispered. Previous attempts at the Chaos Simulator. Study them. June stayed up all night watching pilots fail the impossible test. Each followed textbook responses to space anomalies. Each died in spectacular fashion. But June noticed something. The simulator wasn't random. The chaos had patterns too, just more complex ones. The next morning, Director Kim summoned June to her office. "You've been practicing after hours," she stated. June straightened his shoulders. "Yes, Director." "With Instructor Park?" "Yes, Director." Kim's silver face showed no emotion. "The Federation Council has taken interest in your case. They've ordered your final simulator test to occur in 1 week. But I've barely started training. That is irrelevant. You will take the test. 1 week, Cadet June. The future of human participation in Federation space may depend on your performance." As June left the office, he found Zarkonian waiting in the hallway, mandibles clicking in what might have been a smile. 1 week, human," the insectoid cadet said, "and then your species returns to its primitive place in the galaxy." The day before the simulator test, June couldn't find his access card to the practice rooms. His uniform was missing too. When he finally located it, the fabric had been soaked in something that made his skin itch. "Zarkonian," Min said, examining the uniform. "His species produces this irritant naturally." June barely slept that night. The itching kept him awake and his mind raced with thoughts of failure. By morning, his eyes were red and his hands shook slightly. The entire academy gathered to watch. Rows of alien faces, some curious, some hostile, a few supportive, filled the observation deck above the simulator chamber. Director Kim stood at the center console with Federation officials June had never seen before. "Approach the simulator, Cadet." Director Kim's voice boomed through the speakers. June walked to the chamber door. Min gave him a small nod from the technical station. "Remember," Instructor Park whispered as he passed. "Feel. Don't just think." The simulator was a spherical chamber with a pilot seat suspended in the center. Neural interfaces dangled like silver vines. As June sat down, the interfaces attached to his temples and wrists. "Beginning Federation Flight Simulator Test," announced an automated voice. "Standard difficulty progression employed." The chamber disappeared, replaced by the cockpit of a Federation starship. June found himself in open space, a standard navigation course laid out before him. First phase, basic navigation, the computer announced. This part was easy. June guided the ship through the course perfectly, even with his fatigue. He could sense Zarkonian's disappointment through the observation window. Second phase, formation flying. 3 AI ships appeared. June slipped into formation, remembering Instructor Park's advice to feel the pattern rather than calculate it. The ships executed increasingly complex maneuvers, but June stayed with them. Third phase, emergency protocols. A nearby star erupted in a solar flare. The standard response was to raise shields and execute a specific retreat pattern. Instead, June dove toward the flare, skimming its edge to use the plasma acceleration to boost his ship's speed. He heard gasps from the observation deck. Fourth phase, combat simulation. Enemy ships appeared firing energy weapons. June didn't follow standard evasive protocols. Instead, he flew erratically, making his ship's movements impossible to predict. He destroyed 2 enemy ships by luring them into each other's line of fire. "That's not in any training manual," he heard someone say through the neural link that was picking up sounds from outside. Final phase, chaos navigation. The space around June's ship transformed. Stars bent in impossible ways. Gravity fluctuated wildly. Temporal distortions created multiple images of his own ship. This was the part no one had ever survived. June took a deep breath and released his death grip on the controls. The patterns he had studied in the previous attempts showed that logical responses failed here. If chaos was the enemy, then chaos must be the solution too. He closed his eyes for a split second, feeling the ship as an extension of himself. Then he did the unthinkable. He turned off the navigational computer. Warning: navigational systems offline. Pilot override engaged. June flew by instinct now. When a quantum filament appeared directly ahead, instead of veering away, he accelerated toward it, passing through the exact center where the destructive forces canceled each other out. When a temporal loop threatened to trap his ship, he deliberately flew backward through it, reversing its effect. The observation deck erupted in shouting. Through the neural link, June heard fragments. Impossible. The computer can't even track. He's rewriting the simulation's parameters. A black hole appeared ahead, its gravitational pull irresistible. Every previous attempt had ended here. The correct approach, according to Federation protocols, was to execute a specific escape trajectory. Instead, June flew toward it. What is he doing? Director Kim's voice cut through the chaos. June aimed for the accretion disk, the ring of matter circling the black hole. He used its incredible velocity to slingshot his ship, gaining impossible speed while staying just outside the event horizon. The simulator systems began to overload. Sparks flew from consoles in the observation deck. "Shut it down," someone yelled. "We can't. He's locked into the program." June's ship shot away from the black hole, the incredible speed, carrying him through the final obstacles as if they weren't there. The view screen filled with white light. Then a message appeared that no one had ever seen before. Simulation complete. Pilot survival confirmed. The neural interfaces detached. The simulator chamber faded back into view. Sweat poured down June's face as he sat there breathing hard. The door slid open. Director Kim stood there, her silver face showing emotion for the first time. "Shock. You completed it," she said quietly. "No one has ever completed it." Behind her, Federation officials were talking rapidly into communication devices. Min was grinning widely. Instructor Park looked both proud and worried. Zarkonian stood at the back, mandibles hanging open in silent disbelief. "What happens now?" June asked, his voice hoarse. "I don't know," Director Kim admitted. "We never programmed the simulator for success." June sat in the Academy's medical bay as doctors of various species examined him. They scanned his brain, tested his reflexes, and took blood samples. No one would tell him what they were looking for. "Am I in trouble?" he finally asked the blue-skinned nurse. "No," she replied. "They're trying to understand how you did it." 3 hours later, Director Kim entered with a Federation official in a golden uniform. The official's species was unfamiliar to June, tall with 4 arms and skin that seemed to shift colors like oil on water. "Cadet June," the official said. "I am Admiral Seo Yan of Federation High Command. You've created quite a situation." "I just flew the simulator, Admiral. No one has ever completed the chaos section," Director Kim said. "The simulator wasn't programmed to handle success." "The technical team is still repairing the systems," Admiral Seo Yan added. "Specialist Min has made a discovery. He's waiting for us in the control room." They walked through hallways now filled with cadets who stared at June openly. Some even saluted him, something no first-year cadet had ever received. In the control room, Min was elbow-deep in circuit panels. When he saw them enter, he pulled himself out and bowed deeply to the Admiral. "Show them," Director Kim ordered. Min activated a holographic display. The simulator overloaded because it entered a state it was never designed for. "While fixing it, I found this." The display showed ancient symbols scrolling across the screen. "This code is over 10,000 years old," Min explained. "Written by the ancients before they disappeared. The simulator isn't just a test, it's their technology." "What does it say?" June asked. "It says—" Min hesitated, looking at the Admiral. "Tell him," Seo Yan ordered. "It says, 'Chaos Mind identified. Location recorded for future alliance.'" The room fell silent. The ancients built the simulator to find species that could navigate chaos, Admiral Seo Yan finally said. "We've been using it for 1,000 years thinking it was just an impossible training exercise." "But what does chaos mind mean?" June asked. Director Kim's silver skin reflected the holographic light. "It means humans process information differently than other Federation species. We think logically, sequentially. We follow patterns and protocols because they're safe and predictable. But humans, Admiral Seoyan's skin rippled with colors. Humans think both logically and chaotically. You make intuitive leaps. You see patterns in randomness and randomness in patterns. Min pulled up June's neural scans from the simulator. Look here, your brain was using regions simultaneously that other species use separately. You were thinking, both analytically and creatively at the same time. Is that why I passed the test? June asked. You didn't just pass it, Admiral Seoyan said. You rewrote it. When you turned off the navigation computer and flew by instinct, you did something. The simulator was designed to detect. You adapted to chaos rather than fighting it. Instructor Park entered the room looking troubled. There's something else you should know. The simulator is receiving a signal. From where? Director Kim demanded. We don't know. Deep space. Beyond the Federation's borders. Admiral Seoyan's colors darkened. The ancients said they would return when chaos mines were found. We always thought it was a myth. Why is this important? June asked. Why did you put me in the simulator so early in my training? The adults exchanged looks. Because, Admiral Seoyan finally said, we've discovered something terrible. There's a region of space we call the Zircon Expanse. Physical laws break down there. Normal navigation is impossible. Ships enter and never return. And you think I could navigate it? The Federation has been searching for species with your mental flexibility for centuries, Director Kim admitted. The Council accelerated your testing when the expanse began growing. Growing. June felt cold suddenly. Min brought up another display showing a map of the galaxy. A dark purple area was slowly expanding, consuming star systems. The chaos is spreading, Admiral Seoyan said grimly, and conventional approaches can't stop it. We need pilots who can navigate chaos, who can think like it thinks. We need humans, Director Kim finished. June stared at the map. How many humans have you tested in the simulator before me? Another uncomfortable silence. 17, Admiral Seoyan finally answered. You're the 18th. What happened to the others? Their minds couldn't handle the neural feedback when they failed. They're not fit for duty anymore. June felt sick. You knew this could damage me? Yes, Director Kim said without apology. The survival of billions justified the risk to one human. Before June could respond, alarms blared throughout the academy. The holographic display flickered and changed. Something's coming through the signal, Min said, fingers flying over the controls. A message. Ancient symbols appeared, then translated. Themselves, chaos mind located. Preparation complete, we return. The floor beneath them trembled slightly. What does that mean? June asked. Admiral Seoyan looked grim. It means the ancients are coming back, and they're coming for you. 1 month after June completed the simulator, the Federation Flight Academy had changed beyond recognition. The main hall now featured a statue of a human pilot. New classes focused on intuitive navigation, alongside traditional methods. And in the simulator room, a new sign read, Human Pilots. 1 attempt only. June stood before a class of mixed species, cadets, including some humans recently recruited from Earth. Zarkonian sat in the back row, his mandibles now respectfully quiet. Today we discuss why humans are limited to 1 simulator attempt. June began. He was no longer a cadet but held the newly created rank of Chaos Navigation Instructor. Is it because we're special? Asked a human cadet named Jin. Not special, June corrected. Different. When humans navigate chaos, we change the chaos itself. Director Kim entered the classroom and nodded for June to continue. The ancients built the simulator to find minds that could adapt to unpredictable conditions, June explained. Most species try to apply logic to chaos. Humans instinctively dance with it. He activated a hologram showing his simulator run. The IOI cadets watched in awe as his ship performed maneuvers that defied standard physics. After my attempt, the simulator's parameters permanently changed, June continued. It learned from me as I learned from it. If I tried again, both the simulator and I would approach the problem differently. The test would become meaningless. Director Kim stepped forward. The Federation has created new protocols based on Cadet, June's success. All flight academies will now include human pilots and human design training. The door slid open, and Admiral Seo-yeon entered with Min, who now wore the insignia of Chief Technical Specialist. "Tell them the rest," the Admiral ordered. Director Kim's silver face looked troubled. 3 days ago, the ancient signal changed. They're not just coming, they're here. The hologram shifted to show a massive ship unlike any Federation design. It orbited a distant moon at the edge of Federation space. "The ancients have returned after 10,000 years, Admiral Seo-yeon said. They've requested a meeting with the Chaos Minds with humans." Min added, "They claim they've been waiting for a species that could help them fight something they call the true chaos." June felt the weight of every eye in the room. "And they want me to go?" "Not just you," Director Kim replied. "They want a human pilot who has never attempted the simulator. Someone untrained, unpredictable." Cadet Jin raised her hand. "I volunteer." Admiral Seo-yeon's skin rippled with concern. "The mission is dangerous. The ancients built the simulator, but we know little about their true intentions. If they wanted to harm us, they could have done so already," Jin argued. "Their technology is thousands of years beyond ours." June studied the young cadet. "Why volunteer?" "Because humans have always explored the unknown," Jin replied simply. "It's what we do." Later that day, June helped Jin prepare for the mission. They stood in the hangar bay before a sleek ship of ancient design that had arrived the previous night. "Are you scared?" June asked her. "Terrified," Jin admitted, "but also excited. Humans are good at being both at once." Instructor Han approached them, his tentacles moving nervously. "I was wrong about humans," he said to June. "Your species sees possibilities where we see only obstacles." "We're not better," June replied. "Just different. The Federation needs all our approaches." As Jin boarded the ancient ship, Director Kim handed her a small device. "This will destroy the ship if the ancients prove hostile," she whispered. Jin nodded solemnly. The hangar doors opened to the vastness of space. The ancient ship hummed with energy unlike any Federation technology. "The Zircon expanse grows larger each day," Admiral Seo-yeon told June as they watched the ship prepare for departure. "If Jin succeeds in establishing alliance with the ancients, we may be able to stop it. And if she doesn't," June asked, "then humanity's gift for chaos may be our only remaining hope." The ancient ship rose silently, then disappeared in a burst of light unlike any jump technology June had seen. In the weeks that followed, more human pilots arrived at the academy. The simulator was retired as a test and reprogrammed as a training tool. Federation ships began incorporating human navigation principles. 3 months later, as June was teaching a class on intuitive responses to quantum distortions, all academy systems suddenly went dark. Then the ancient signal appeared on every screen. "Alliance confirmed, Chaos Minds accepted, return imminent." A new ship appeared in orbit larger than before. Jin's voice came through the communication system. "This is Cadet Jin. The ancients are refugees from a universe where order collapsed. They need our help to prevent the same happening here. They need human pilots." Director Kim looked at June. "It seems your completion of the simulator was just the beginning." June nodded as he watched new ancient ships appear in orbit. "Humans were never meant to follow protocols," he said. "We were meant to create them."